Welcome everybody to another video. Today I have a challenge for you. The way it's going to work is like this. I will show you three different positions, position A, B, and C. For each one, you will have to use things like king safety, like the material, like the attacking chances, among many other things, to decide how good the position is for white. Then you will rank the position A, B, and C based on how good it is for white. So for example, you might come up with the conclusion that B is the best, C is the second best, and A is the worst for white. Then you can comment your conclusion in the comment section, and I will go ahead and reveal, according to the engine, which positions are the best, and I'll try to explain why it is like that. Okay, let's begin. This is position A. Now for each one of these, I recommend taking at least 1 minute to look at the properties of the position, like the material, like the king safety, like the attacking ideas that both sides have. So pause the video and take some time to focus on this position, and in just a couple of seconds I will move on to position B. Here is position B. So it is, again, white to move. All of these positions are going to be white to move. And once again, I recommend taking a solid minute, so pausing the video again and deciding how you think this position is in comparison to the previous one. Is this better for white? Is it better for black? And once you are ready, unpause the video. And then moving on to the final position that we have, it is this position right here. Again, white to move. You are in check this time, so your moves are limited, but focus on the properties of the position and try to figure out which one of these three positions are best. I will now do a view of all of the positions, so you have time to compare them side by side. And once again, as much time as you need for each one of these, the more time you spend on it, the better you are improving, because the more you're focusing on small details on the board that really matter. Okay, and now I'll go over the answer. For position C, the evaluation by the engine is around 1.8, 1.9 for white. Now, the things to note here is that it might seem like your king is wide open and your king is very unsafe, but the reality is this is an open file, but it's one that you can very easily match and control as well with your rooks because they're connected. So king g2, and then you're going to get your rook to h1 at some point. You're going to control this file, and you have some dominance over the center of the board. So the important thing about this position was realizing, is this attack dangerous? And the answer is no, because again, you move your king, you're going to control this file. There's not a great way to get more materials into the attack for black. They can try to stack the rooks, but even if they have, not there, let's say they go here, even if they have both rooks, you can still match and control this file, and they just have no great way to continue an attack. Moving backwards to position B, the evaluation here is around -2. And the reason for this evaluation is simply piece activity. Material-wise, it's quite equal. Also, king safety is pretty equal, because even though maybe these pieces are closer to the king, there's a lot of defenders on this king, and therefore there's not really a threat of checkmate or an attack on the king. And in those regards, the position's equal. However, look at these pieces for black and compare them with the pieces for white. The pieces for black are in much better squares, so piece activity is what makes this a very good position for black. This pawn is already under attack. Also, this infiltration with the rook puts this pawn under attack. There's also going to be ideas of stacking the rooks and going for this second rank, specifically this bishop. And the pieces for white are simply no match for those of black. They're, like I pointed out, very close to the king here. They're not posing any attacks against black, and there's just a lot more potential for black to go against white's and weaknesses and try to take advantage of them than there is white to go and take advantage of black's weaknesses, which are kind of hard to even find, because these pawns here that are not defended by any pawns are very hard to actually reach with any piece that could take them. So for those reasons, black is doing pretty good in this position. And then the position A, the final one here, the evaluation is roughly +7, +8. I mean, at this point, it doesn't really matter if it's +7 or +10, but it's very, very good for white. And you might be asking why. You know, material-wise, white doesn't have a massive advantage, but the reasons for this are quite simple. It's once again related to piece activity. If you look at these pieces here, they're very defensive, whereas if you look at these pieces, they're a lot more aggressive and they have more potential to attack as well. Right now, this f-file is already a pretty big issue for black. You know, white can add more power to this and really stop black's pieces from having any freedom, because if this bishop, you know, develops and this rook controls the file and this queen moves, well, then you're going to have problems on f7. So black's pieces are tied down as defensive pieces and white's pieces are very aggressive. But that might not be enough to attack because, you know, if you put all of your pieces on this one weakness, well, maybe black can kind of bunker up and just defend that one weakness. You want to have multiple weaknesses, and that is why you also need to notice this h-file, which is another weakness. So here, after the move rook h3, the idea is very simple. You're taking advantage, keeping pieces aimed at this f7 square, but also going for this open h-file, and this king is just in a lot of trouble here, and you're going to have some really beautiful attacking chances, and black really just has none of those chances. So that is why, in the end, here, you're completely crushing in this position, and so overall, position A is by far the best. After that, position C is the second best, and the worst for white, actually good for black, is position B. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I've never really done a test or a challenge like I've done here, so if you guys like this type of video, then please leave them down below, and I'll gladly make more. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.